guys, I just recorded this entire video and realized it wasn't recording. So, I guess I'm going to do this again. I've been gone for a long time, I know. But, I don't have any big audience or anything, so I think it's fine. And even if I did, it's going to take breaks and all. Anyway, today I am doing a review of Italian folk magic, Rue's Kitchen Witchery, by Mary Grace Fahrun. I'm not sure if I'm saying her last name right or wrong, and if I am, I'm so sorry. I watch your videos a lot, but I'm just really bad at pronouncing things. And you know, it's folk magic. It's Italian folk magic. It's something I love personally, but it's something I want to review because it's helped me to bring so much pleasure back into my life. You know, I've had a lot of time where I've been miserable, and this really brings part of it into it. You know, my grandfather was half Italian. He didn't grow up with his father around. He died when I was 3 years old. I don't have any memories of him. I don't have any pictures of him or anything. I just have a memorial card. And this book really helps me, not only because of not knowing him, but I really don't know much of my family. And those of my family I did know either cut me out because I cut someone else out who was really bad for me, or I cut them out because of how unhealthy they were for me. You know, it's just really me and my mama. And yes, I call her mama. But, I just want to really quickly go over this book. So, first she does have a part before the first chapter where she talks about a childhood experience where one of her cousins had to get treated for malapio, which is the evil eye. You know, pretty much all cultures that practice folk magic to some extent have it. My dad, who's half Irish, believed in it as well, and he would talk about how we're going to bring it on all the time, which I find really interesting between the two, and how it's always been somewhere in my bloodline, even if I didn't know the people who I connected with more, that family still believed in it. Because my grandfather, as far as I know, he was full Irish. My dad is half Irish, half English. His mom is English. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about the chapters first. So there's chapter 1 where she talks about the importance of the kitchen, and she has this really nice smelling cleansing solution that you make over the stove, and oh my god, it smells so good. It's one of my favorite scents anymore. And then she talks about sacred spaces and home altars and how they played a part in her childhood homes. And she also talks about how important the kitchen was and the hearth was, which I loved reading about. Then there's chapter 3, which is about food, and there's a bunch of recipes in there. I tried the spaghetti with clams, and it was delicious. I gotta make that again in the future, but that's more of a holiday one, but you know, you can make one whenever. And then she does talk a little bit about when the dough rises when you're making pizza dough, which I found very interesting, and I've made pizza a few times since getting this book, and it's tracked every single time, however the results were. It really worked. Then she talks about witchcraft or medicine and what you should try out first, and how different people will try different things because that's just how they are. And then she has a chapter on nature, which I love because it talks about connecting with elemental spirits, whether if it's water, earth, air, or fire. For me personally, it's water. I am an air sign, but I'm a water rising, so I connect a lot with water. You know, I don't really connect that much with air, and I loved it. You know, it's just like spending the time in that element and really respecting and connecting to the spirits. It meant a lot to me. You know, it also talked about naming and baptizing your plants and not worrying that much about what professionals say to do for your plants, but to ask your plant itself what it needs. There's also superstitions and proverbs, which I love. Some of them I've actually been following all my life without knowing that they were Italian. And the proverbs are in Italian. I won't even attempt to say any of them in Italian anytime soon because I barely know any Italian myself. I am slowly learning. I'm trying my best. I'm not so good at it. I do much better with Spanish personally. And then there's amulets and talismans. Then there's spells and charms. She talks about freezer spells specifically, I remember. That might be in curses though, I'm not sure. And then there's rituals. She has an entire chapter on Malakia, which is the evil eye, which is something that I've had some experience with. Then there's curses, there's working with spirits, and then there's the integration of the sacred and the profane, and the conclusion. And she makes it clear that she's not writing any of this to try to force you to do it exactly like she does. But, it's a little basic course in Italian folk magic to teach you so that you can go off and make your own practice. No two families in Italy really practiced this the same way, and it's the same now. Nobody really practices it the same. You change it how it's meant to be changed, and it might just be a tiny change. She talks about traditional recipes and how a good one for Saturday is brodo. I probably said that wrong. I was trying to roll my R, but I obviously didn't. And she talks about how Saturday is her favorite day of the week, and how it's a day of housekeeping, laundry, and grocery shopping. It's so busy. And then she goes on to explain why you have broth on that day. And then she goes on to chicken or hen soup. And then she has sweets. And there's one called lemon flavored donut shaped cake. No, I'm not going to try to pronounce it in Italian because I know I'm going to butcher it. Then there's holiday recipes. There's a New Year's Day Capodanno. I'm probably saying that wrong. Okay, so this sounds like it's lentil soup. Originally a Modenese dish, cotechino e lenticchie, is now enjoyed throughout Italy. It is eaten on New Year's Eve and is believed to bring prosperity for the new year. 2 years in a row now, I've had lentil soup on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day so that I could try to bring in good luck. No results so far, but maybe next year. Or maybe this year will change, it's just February. And then there's one for Candlemas, which is the presentation of the baby Jesus. And there are crepes. In March, there's St. Joseph's Donuts. I don't really remember fully the story of St. Joseph or why he has a feast day in March, but I do remember it does exist. And then for April or March, if Easter is in March, because it's never the same, there's lamb with cheese and egg. That's not one that I've experimented with. And then there's Bones of the Dead cookies for November because it's the month of the dead. And then there's in witchcraft or medicine, there is I don't know if it's a prayer or a spell, that's what I'm trying to check. Okay, I think that it's a spell basically because you gargle with barley water. And I can't say it in Italian, so I will say it in English. Which is St. Blaise, one of 9 brothers, from 9, 8 remained, from 8, 7 remained, from 7, 6 remained. And you get the point. St. Blaise, melt these lands. Then there's another thing is X's and crosses. How many times have you pointed at someone's or your own body when describing another person's ailment or tumor? And then she tells you to stop doing that. And then, the X on the body is like mad at myself, as you can see. Drawn an X banishes evil that causes or feeds illness, and drawn a plus sign blesses and places healing energies on whatever you drew the X on. Whatever you drew the plus on, not the X. I don't know what I'm saying, apparently. I do find that so interesting. To me, it's really cool. And of course, I'm a little biased because this is my culture to some extent. And then here are some Proverbs. And I'm not going to say them all because I'm not going to just read the entire book. Every life is lost. Every opportunity that we have not taken is lost. Now, that's one that I love personally. I wasn't planning to read that one, but it's the one that my eyes darted right to. But I love it because it's true. How many times have we had an opportunity and not taken it to only regret it maybe even years later? It's a lesson that I've learned in the past to stop letting them go. Go for it. As long as you're safe, of course. Don't do something where you might die. And then she talks about amulets and talismans. And she talks about cartomancy, which is something that I'm still experimenting with. Not so good at it, but when I say cartomancy, I'm talking about using playing cards for divination, not tarot cards. Tarot cards I'm good with. Playing cards, not so much. I'm getting better at it, though. And then she talks a little bit about scrying and dream interpretation. I've been doing a lot of dream interpretation lately, and it's been real interesting. Blood represents happiness, joy, commensurate with the amount of blood. So the more blood there is, the more happiness there's going to be in that. It's very interesting. I like that. If you dream of your father, that represents security. I'd assume that's also the same for someone who has a father figure instead of a father. Yeah, I'll get back to that, but there it was. Then there's the wedding band and water pendulum, which is, it's like when you have a pendulum, only you're using the wedding band instead of maybe putting that on a necklace chain or on a string or something, and you're holding over a glass of water. I haven't experimented with that too much because in the past I've been really bad with pendulums, but it's something I do want to explore. Maybe I'll do some general readings in the future look that way. Maybe not anything specific, but something for the collective. I think that'd be really interesting. And then there's using tarot to divine lottery numbers. Now this I haven't tried it yet. I think it's interesting, but I'm not sure. But basically, you get a card, say you get the Queen of Swords, as she mentions in here. You count the numbers, you count the things, and that way you get the idea for what numbers to play. So Queen of Swords, there's one woman, one sword, one angel, one bird, one crown, one throne, on and on. 4 trees, 5 butterflies, 13 clouds surrounding the queen. And that's another thing. 13 for Italy isn't a bad luck number. 17 is, though. There's 32 clouds on her cape. And so on until you've counted basically everything. You don't have anything else to count. And then you use those numbers to play the lottery. And then there's using tarot for spellcasting. Then there's about Saints Cosmas and Damien, who were twin brothers and physicians. They are protectors of babies and young children. And then there's a way to know your future husband. Basically it. Hold on. Yeah, on the final night, a chunk of wax is melted in a pan, and once it is liquid, is poured into a bowl of cold holy water. The bowl is placed on the young lady's bedside table to inspire her to dream of her future husband. On that morning, the young lady reports on her dreams, and the married woman close to her interprets her dreams in the shape of the wax in the bowl to determine who her future husband will be, including his trade and financial and social standing. Me personally, I don't care that much about the financial standing, but I do think that's very interesting. It really is helpful to know what kind of person you're going to be with. And then there's a few about if your mother-in-law doesn't like you, what you can do to change that. Then there's the whole chapter on Malachia, and there's a St. Michael prayer in that, which I really like because St. Michael has been very good to me. He has helped me a lot. And then she talks a little bit about Fraser spells, and just trying to give like a good picture of all of the different things you learn in the book. I don't want to, give out too much information because I want other people to buy it and to support her. She's great. And then she talks about guardian angels, and as well as other angels. There's like angels of sewing, angels of knitting, angels of painting, stuff like that. And this isn't something that I just picked up on the book just now, but at one point she does say to go and create, whether if it's cooking, baking, sewing, knitting, painting, drawing, whatever you're doing to create videos. That is magic. That's how you create magic, by creating things. Which is very fun for me because something that I've been saying for a few years now is that magic is life. Like when you grow something or when something is becoming, coming into life, that is magic. To create something from nothing, that's magic. And she talks a little about Madonnas, which is the Virgin Mary. And there's different, I don't want to say parts of Mary. Yeah, representations. That's a better name word. And she goes on to say that Mary is one person. Mary is not a bunch of different people. It's just that there's different representations of her. And she talks a little bit about a few of the people that she knows who are devoted to La Madonna del Carmine, which is Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And that's something that I like a lot. She talks a little bit about animal spirits as well. And she talks about bibliomancy, which is like where you open up the book and pick a word. Like, or not even a word, just like a section. Like, what do I need to tell the people who watch this video about? And then there's Favomancy, which is divination through beans. Reed in water, which is where you have a white shallow bowl, water, olive oil, and a teaspoon. The drops are, that's about checking for Malachia. And then there's water and wine to check for fertility, which is spells and curses. I just want to tell you guys about one more thing, but I want to... here we go. A few superstitions. Like, never place your purse or wallet on the floor, or you will never have any money. Or for children, newborn babies are given an amulet for protection against magic or the evil eye from their godmother. This amulet is traditionally a red ribbon or coral bead on an 18-karat gold safety pin, pinned to the inside of their clothing, although other configurations also exist. That's really all, guys. I just wanted to talk about this book and how it's helped me lately, and how good I think it is. I think that it really helps anyone who's looking to connect with their ancestry, if they're Italian, or just in general, if you're interested in folk magic or in Italian culture. I think that would be good for you.